Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Again, someone was lying. Who could that be? Well, it's easy. Close your eyes and grab the first one next to you, okay? All right, what's going on here? The Russians are preparing a mass offensive and invasion in Sumy Oblast. So after the Russians pushed the invading forces out of Kursk Oblast, not all of it, where the Ukrainians are surrounded, but the Ukrainians are, or the invading forces, some of them are surrounded, encircled. We have Zelensky coming and saying, no, actually the Russians are trying a offensive. They put a lot of troops, amass a lot of troops in Kursk Oblast in order to cross into Sumy Oblast in a new invasion. And they're trying to encircle our troops not in Kursk in Russia, but in Ukraine. Semantics. I will discuss all that in this video, plus I will show you some maps. We find out today, on the 16th, that the Ukrainians just left Sudzha in Kursk, just decided to withdraw. The Russians took over Sudzha 2 days ago, but as I said, the Ukrainians, when something bad happens in the field over there, they report, the situation is dynamic or is tense or something like euphemisms, not like we're nah. And then after about 72 hours, or I don't know, let's say 2 days, 3 days, but sometimes, usually between 2 days and 3 days, they come out and say, we lost over there. But we already knew that. So they need about 2 days for them to come and say, we withdrew from Sudzha. We knew that 2 days ago from the unreliable Russians who built trust by being consistent in, hey, we did this. The other guy say, no, you didn't. Yeah, we took over Sudzha. No, you didn't. And in 2 days, yeah, we withdrew from Sudzha. Who do you trust? Obviously, the ones that consistently tell you the truth about 2 days before the other guys consider, say, yeah, I think we withdrew from Sudzha in a very orderly fashion, okay? Positioned ourselves for new defense of our motherland. Then, again, Zelensky is denying that the troops were encircled in Russia, but he's saying that they might be encircled in Ukraine. So you're not right. You're not, no, that's not true. He did not beat him up today. He beat him up yesterday, but still he beat him up. This is the argument Zelensky makes. And Zelensky demands. Now, Zelensky is a guy who I think doesn't have much power. Let's put it this way. I think he's at the orders of bigger forces. He demands peacekeeping force for Ukraine. And that would be for Europe's safety. I wonder who's going to be in charge. He will be in charge. And then he says, let's have this European peacekeeping force. It doesn't matter if it's before or after the peace is reached. And he said, we don't talk to the Russians regarding this. We do whatever we want. We shouldn't talk to the Russians. Well, see where it got you, not talking to the Russians? So let's start with the first topic, which is Putin planning fresh ground invasion of Ukraine, warns Zelensky Stein, the Telegraph. Well, what do you want? He's just applying what Miyamoto Musashi and many other strategists said. When you see the opposition, the enemy faltering and retreating, you go after them. Well, calculated, you don't want to fall in the trap. But in this case, Putin is going to follow these forces that invaded his country back to wherever they belong, to their mummies. Russia is continuing to resist proposals for unconditional 30-day ceasefire put forward by US earlier in this week. This is the subtitle over there. Now it has some questions and there are some details. There are adults. When you analyze the situation, you just don't say, okay, man, we're gonna go to, I don't know, Mount Everest tomorrow. All right, let's go. Woo! Whoa. How do we do it? Do we have the resources? Do we have the training? Who's gonna do this? Who's gonna do that? Wait a second. You have off from work? The details. Oh man, look at Emil. Emil again resists to go to the Everest. Well, don't you think we have some details to discuss before we start the journey? So these are average adults' questions. And these guys are just children right here. Russia is continuing to resist proposals. It's not resisting, they say are for it. Let's discuss the details. That's a difference. Nevertheless, this is according to the Telegraph. So their audience, or the guys that they are bombarding, they're targeting, is a certain kind of audience. The Independent. Ukraine-Russia war latest. Zelensky warns Putin is planning fresh ground invasion as Moscow's troops gather on Sumy border. Okay, where is that? Rapatsapa. Okay, this is the map of whatever Ukraine still is there. So make sure you memorize it, because pretty soon it's not going to look the same. So here is Kursk Oblast, this is Sumy Oblast, this is the border between the two countries. Here is where the invasion occurred, where NATO, whatever, I don't want to say it yet, invaded. And they are almost out. Well, they were successful. They were successful at the beginning. They did something like this. This is how deep they got in it. That's good. But now, unfortunately for them, they are pushed back, and right here they're going to come right over like this to encircle these guys. I don't know how many are encircled here in Sudzha. This is Sudzha. All right. Zelensky. Russia amasses forces to attack Sumy Oblast. So he's talking about, as I showed you already, right here or on this side. I have another map. Let's see if these guys are going to participate. Yeah, right, yes. Well, this is another map. This is not from the Russians. So here it is. Again, they show them pushed. Sudzha is liberated. These guys are attacking here. So not good for the Ukrainians or whomever is fighting over there. And their map provided by the Ukrainians, again, they show you here how the Russians are pushing them, and not good. They're cutting. You see here, that little red little thing over here? It seems like they're going to cut them here, and they're going to make connection with these guys in a pinching move. So these guys could be encircled. Now, I don't know how many others are encircled here or not, but here it is. Next one, let's see what's going on here. Maybe let's see what exactly Zelensky's warned Europe. Ukrainian President Zelensky has reported that the Russian army is amassing forces for an assault at Sumy Oblast. So Putin wants to attack Sumy Oblast right there, exactly here. Boom, boom, boom. And he's going to go where exactly? They say that he's trying to even invade Chernihiv in this area. Going to Kiev again? All right. This is what Zelensky said. We see areas along our eastern border of Ukraine where the Russian army is amassing forces. This indicates a will to carry out an assault on our Sumy Oblast. We understand this and will counteract it. I would like all our partners to understand that Putin is planning and preparing for, and he will ignore. The accumulation of Russian forces indicate that Moscow intends to ignore diplomacy in the future. Okay, right now you're Moses, tell us what's going to happen. Russia's desire to prolong the war is obvious. No, it's not. We are ready to provide our partners with all the real information on the situation. That means believe us. On the front in Kursk Oblast and along the border. How can I trust you? How can I trust you when you have this? Ukrainska Pravda. This is Sunday, March 16, 2025. Ukraine's General Staff reports Ukrainian Armed Forces withdrawal from Sudzha in Kursk Oblast. So this is Sunday, March 16th. Let me show you another one. You see this? This is on the 13th, a video I made. Russian troops liberate Sudzha, Kursk. Ukrainian troops retreat. Got that? And on the 12th right here, Ukrainian troops withdraw from Kursk back to Ukraine. Russian troops enter Sudzha. Russian prepares so this is on the 12th, we're on the 16th. So when you tell me here that the partners, where are you? The partners should listen to us with all the real information. No, you screwed up already. You told me that you just withdraw from Sudzha. We already knew that. You're out. And here is what they show us, a map where this is the Ukrainian forces. They're going to be encircled here and here. That's the same thing as in this one here. All right. Again, Ukraine inform. Ukrainian forces withdraw from Sudzha, the same. On the 16th, so they needed what, 3 days or 2 days? 2 days to tell us. Why 2 days? Because this is the one. On the 13th, it's 3 days already. Liberate Sudzha. So on the 13th, these guys announced, we liberated Sudzha. And these guys come, what, today, and tell us we withdrew from Sudzha. The General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine has released a map showing that Ukrainian forces have withdrawn from Sudzha in Russia's Kursk region. We knew that 3 days ago, boy. Next one. Ukrainska Pravda. Zelensky says Putin's claims of encirclement in Kursk Oblast are lies. But hey, they are encircled in Ukraine. I might care. The same. We didn't get beaten up today. We got beaten up yesterday. You still getting beaten up. Russia aims to surround our troops on Ukrainian soil. Well, it doesn't look like that. Why? Let me show you. You see this? This is the border right here between Russia and Ukraine. So these troops right here are in Russia, not in Ukraine. These troops, the Russians are advancing here per the Ukrainians map and here. Now I will go back to their little map of Bethlehem. Where is it? Right here. See that? This is coming from the Ukrainians. This is Ukrainska Pravda. You see how they are encircling this? This is the border. So what are you talking about in Ukraine? This is not Ukraine. This is Russia. So as I said yesterday, when in one of my videos, Zelensky came out and said there's no encirclement of the Ukrainian Armed Forces. There's no indication. No, that's a lie. It's true, maybe they're not Ukrainian Armed Forces. Maybe are just mercenaries. Maybe are just volunteers. Maybe are NATO troops. Maybe are murky troops. Yeah, see, I didn't say that. I said the Ukrainian army is not surrounded or encircled. NATO, yeah, they're over there. Yeah, the mercenaries, volunteers are encircled big time. Right? Details. And he's going to be partially right, but we know better. He's the Zelensky. What do you expect? So again, Putin tries to surround our troops on Ukrainian soil. Again, our troops. Volunteers, mercenaries, and murky troops are still our troops, but they're not our army and Kursk Oblast. Okay, and the lies. Details. It's like, he didn't rape me, he just penetrated me. Okay, all right, just use euphemisms here. Zelensky has stated that Russian forces are trying to encircle Ukrainian troops on Ukrainian soil along the Kursk front. But the Ukrainian command is aware of these plans. Ooh, me too. Sorry, but we're all in this, right? So where is that map? Right here. There's not Ukrainian soil. Ukrainian soil is on the other side, baby doll, right here. So again, please. I believe. Oh, when someone starts with I believe, I believe many things. But do you know that the Russian side wants to surround Ukrainian troops on the same Kursk front, but on Ukrainian territory, and I would put here as well. Importantly, our troops and command are fully aware of this. Well, I'm aware he's going to knock the shit out of me. Can I do anything about it? No. So doesn't help me saying I'm aware of it. I'm going to get knocked out anyway. And we have a clear understanding of where they intend to do it. Me too. Let me show you. Where is that at? Right? It's right here. It's going to happen. Clear understanding right here from thousands of miles from you. Their goal is to establish a stronger presence on Ukrainian soil, which is nothing new. Well, did you invade them too? So what do you want now? Mercy? No. No mercy to the cowards. New voice of Ukraine. Zelenskyy demands peacekeeping force for Ukraine, Europe's safety. Who's going to be in charge of this military army? Do you remember, what the hell what's his name? Wasn't it Caesar, Julius Caesar? Who, yeah, he crossed the Rubicon, wasn't he? Remember, the Roman military was not supposed to be on a certain territory, come to Rome. It was not the same the Americans copied. That's why you don't have American military deploying troops inside the country. We have them deployed outside, but not inside. He deployed them to the border, but not, inside. The same as the Rome did, if I remember correctly. And then when Caesar crossed the Rubicon, that's why the term, or the Rubicon was already crossed. That's a river that the Roman troops were supposed to be outside of it. If you cross it in, that means you are already violating the understanding the Roman military should not be on the Roman, per se, territory, not the provinces. So that's why he crossed it. And then what he did, he threatened the baboons in Rome, I'm going to come and get you. Why? I'm in charge of a military. So the same thing here. I wonder, let's say, the Europeans are going to bring all those guys and who's going to be in charge of us? Of that, and the person is going to have the power like he had. Remember Alaric, but it's a little bit Alaric the First. It's a little bit different. Alaric the First was a what was he, a Ostrogoth, Visigoth, I think Visigoth. He was part of the Roman army. He was a legionnaire, and then he was a commander. He learned, like you have someone from outside, let's say from Mexico, let's say, immigrates to the United States of America. He goes in the military, he enlists, and he gets to be a general. And then after he goes a general, he makes in the U.S. Army, he makes a little army with some Mexicans inside of or outside, and he invades and beats the Americans because he knows their tactics. That's Alaric coming to Rome. That's how he sacked Rome in 400 or something, or 420 or something like that. So Alaric was a Visigoth, not a Roman, came and them up. So I wonder if Zelensky is just history, and history repeats with different actors, different times, and different numbers, different sunshine, rain, and whatever. So who's going to be in charge of those troops? Zelensky. But I mean, Zelensky, he can do what he wants. In 1 second, he wants to be at Berlin. He's going to be in 24 hours in Berlin. Be careful. So it's not only that. Why I picked this article was not only for this, I think, resemblance. Is something else. This is what he said. Volodymyr Zelensky urged partners to send peacekeepers to Ukraine and dismiss Russia's input. You got it? This is a very bad signal. Taking Russia's opinion into account regarding the contingent. The contingent must be stationed on Ukrainian soil. This is a security guarantee for Ukraine and a security guarantee for Europe. I disagree with that. If Putin wants to bring some foreign contingent. So he says, this is delusional. This is delusion. He thinks that he has a say. He doesn't have a say. Why? You don't have military power. Those guys that you think Syrsky is in power, the Russian general Syrsky of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, if you think that Zelensky is in power over there, no, my friends, forget about it. So when you hear this guy saying this, well, we're not going to take Russia into consideration, didn't you just say that they're going to invade Sumy? No. I mean, you're losing. You've been losing for some time already. I mean, look at the reality in the front. On the front over there, they got territory. What are you doing? These guys are making peace above your head. You just stay over there in the murky water, half dead. But no, we need this, we should not take the Russians into consideration. Remember, every time, I mean, if you want to really have something stable, and lasting, if you have an argument between, two people in a relationship, or you have a domestic dispute, then you call the police. And the police shows up, he's not going to talk only to one person and the other one is going to be arrested on the spot. Now, I'm not talking about that guy is already crazy and so on. No, I'm going to talk to the alleged victim. He's going to talk to the alleged suspect. And then they determine what could be a safety plan. Can they stay together? No, they have to be separate. In what way? Separate but equal. We're going to send this guy to his mommy. We're going to take him in custody. What are we going to do about it? But you always, and then you look at the witnesses. Hey, what happened? Did you see? Blah, 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 blah. Did you hear anything? That's the way you do it. But somehow in Ukraine, they don't do this. They say, the Russians should be ignored. We don't talk to the Russians. Nobody talks to the Russians. And here these guys tell us the Russians invaded Ukraine unprovoked and unjustifiable. Did you ask the Russians their justifications? Please. All right, here it is, my friends. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.